Hello, brothers and sisters, twin flames, and beloveds. Well, phew, this was an intense, intense, intense way. All the shadows of the portals came up this week to transform. You all probably have noticed it, that it was full on, that we were all challenged, that things needed to end, that things triggered you, anxiety, fear, everything came up to resolve this karmic cycle of, tomorrow we start the old and the new year. So we are on the threshold of a new year, and I all want you to think about, what you learned this year, what the journey did to you this year, and what you want to take with you, and what you want to leave behind. This is a year of many, many challenging times, and we're going on a different level. Time speeding up. We're going into the light. We're going into huge changes, but also changes of stability within yourself, balance, creating more power within yourself from support from the universe. And you will really, really feel this energy in your system. I had a huge journey this last week, but it was pretty intense, and things triggered me from the past that needed to be resolved. And right away after everything cleared out and everything was stabilized, and when it was stabilized, you never know what will happen. If you're in the middle of the storm, you always see afterwards where the storm brought you and what was necessary to do for yourself. So I really lost my calm, and the anxiety took over, and I didn't know what was happening. It really took me back to almost a death experience I had years ago, and the fear of that triggered. Because I lost my whole bag, my was taken away from me, and it was like, whoa, it felt like a death, like almost death, because everything was in my bag, my phone, my bank accounts, my bank passes, my credit card, my passport, my everything, and even this necklace. And I have a feeling that this necklace really brought it back to me, that I was protected. And in the dreams that night, they showed me, you are protected. And I connected with my handbag, and I said, you please, I put light around it, and I said, please come back to me, because I did so many things. I lost already on the way this last year. I lost so many things and I said, let it go, and don't worry about it, and this time I really had to step up, because it was my life, it was my identity, it was everything I was standing for. And I needed really to step up my game and say, now it's enough. I don't give anymore. I gave enough, you know, and now I want my life back, because this is, you know, I had to go to the embassy, blah blah blah, all the heavy stuff, getting duplicate of passports and everything. And it brought so much anxiety that I thought, where is the anxiety coming from? And it came back to this almost death, to this death experience I had. And it was like, you know, this is a death, and I have to return and take my power back. I have to really literally take my power and my life back, and being in control of my own life, because I don't want a duplicate life. And because of that moment, I saw, yes, you know, it's coming back to me. And the next morning, I got a message, you know, we found your bag. And I started to cry so hard. And even this evening in the car, I was driving through the hills, and I was so grateful that it returned to me. And maybe if everyone, yeah, if there's someone out there that happened the same, you know, your whole identity is gone with everything in your bag. So I will never put all my stuff back in the bag again. You know, it's like, this is a hard lesson to see, you know, in an instant your life is gone, and it triggered on different levels. So, you know, if you resonate with this and you feel that anxiety of different situations you had, please let me know, because I really want to know your story about this, because I know for sure that in this period of time, I wasn't the only one who went through a very difficult time. And it's really the closure of the old paradigm, clearing out the karma, looking out what needs to be released, you know, in the system. And I made a grid here in front of me. I made a crystal grid, asking Kuan Yin, you know, Mother of Mercy, to help me, to support me, to get the lower frequency energies out of my house, out of my system, out of my aura. Started to meditate, going to a higher frequency. And I only heard trust. And I know that I'm really supported and protected, because who else would get your handbag back? You know, I lost already too much this year on many levels, and this time they said, you know, it's really time to step up your game and ask for support, and I did, and the support was there, and afterwards you get the insights. So wow, it was really a tough week. And I know that's why I do the reports today, because I know we're on the edge of this huge shift and leap of shift to create a new life in 2020. And I know that there is something big, really big coming up for 2020, and I feel it in my whole system. And that's why we needed this death, you know, to go back to the death, go back to the inner child, go back to old wounds that really ripped us open, to crack us open, really, to move forward in 2020. And I really feel this push. And there was so much anxiety, and I felt, oh my gosh, they holding me back, they stopping me, and now all this energy shifts, and I feel, wow, it feels like, new energy, more a catalyzer. It was a catalyzer for me to clear out everything and to start all over again. And it was really a rebirth, a reboot, a reset, and a rebirth. So let's see what's going on in the divine masculine's space, headspace, and what's going on, within him, in this time of journey, and where are we heading towards? Where are we heading towards? So for the divine masculine in his headspace, he wants to move to love. He remembers the love they had. He starts to realize that the love that they had is still binding them. They're still binded, binded by love. And it's a universal force. And this force that they are handfasted or handfasted, or they're married, and they're still not separated. He is still thinking about those times, and he is still moving towards that love. He wants to move towards this love because he knows, they will never break. It will never break up, because the heart energy is so strong that it will return to them both. And out of love, he is supporting the divine feminine. He is holding her. And the divine masculine is thinking about, the love, and thinking about this union and this binding they have together. And it will move him forward towards his heart, because his heart was closed for such a long time. And because of this new energy, he wants to move forward. He knows that he wants to move forward to support both of them with his love. So the divine feminine is receiving his love, and the divine masculine is supporting her. You see the support of the divine masculine, supporting her, and the universal flow is in her hands, and that creates a lot of love. And because she receives the love from the universal realms, and he is supporting her, he is holding her, because he knows that if they want to move forward in this love, he needs to support her, and that will bind them together. They supporting each other. What's in his heart space? He has to speak his truth. He has to speak from his heart. He has to get out of his, what he is. Oh my goodness, what is in his head. He has to speak it out. He has to speak out the love for her, because if he doesn't speak out the love for her, he is getting stuck, because he gets stuck in his ego. He gets stuck in his heart space. So he needs to speak from the heart space. And that's really what is going on at the moment. How is he seeing the divine feminine? That she is cracking herself open to search for the light within. and that she had to get out of the ego. They both are in their ego space, and she is cracking it open. The divine feminine is cracking it open. She knows, she has the knowledge, from the emotional knowledge, to go within and search for the light in the darkest fear. So he knows that she has to go to the light again, and that what is happening, that is necessary for her to crack things open within herself and going within. And he is supporting her in that. He wants her to go to the light to support herself, and he is guiding her to seek the truth within herself. So that's how he sees the divine feminine, and that she is going through that. He is absolutely sure that she will find that light again, because he don't want her to be in this dark space. And he knows, he also knows that when she's in this space of fear, anxiety, of the ego space, that and lower energies, that it won't serve her. So he is helping her to get back in the light, and see to create the insights to stand in her power again. So that's how he sees the divine feminine. No matter what is going on in her mind space, that she will eventually, go to this light and receive this light. And he is supporting her in that. And that's also, this card. He is supporting her to move on, to get to that loving space again. And when the divine feminine gets the insights, what's going on in the mind space, why things happen, why they happen, she cracks it open, not only for the divine feminine, but she also cracks open the divine masculine to give him the insights. So it's both, they both, supporting each other like this, holding each other. And that's what real love does, that's what real love does. And in this support, they will find each other, and the ego gets out of the way. Okay, what is in the mind space of the divine feminine? Opportunity becomes. She knows that something big is going on. She knows there are opportunities coming through because of this experience. She is waiting, and waiting to, and looking to the universe, and waiting till this big thing will happen for her. And it's universal, but it's also the earth she needs to do her work for. Also waiting, till this time is over, till this new beginning starts, and she is ready to create a new power within, to start and to look at the stars and the moon and the universe and calling out for help, because here it is, and she can't wait till the results are there. I feel also a bit of not insecurity, but um, impatience. I feel the impatience because she knows it's huge what's going to happen. It's really huge. And she is just waiting till it enters her life. What is going on in the divine feminine's heart space? She needs to reach out. She needs to ask for help. And she asked for help. And because she knows that she's carried, you know, she is carried door many, many hands from the masculine. The hands of the masculine are carrying her, and she needs to reach out. And she did. And if she does reach out, you know, there's more light coming towards her. Also, she gets the gratitude from the divine universe. And the divine masculine is really helping her to get back in the light. And so many people came on her path this last week, you know, to give her a helping hand. And she from her heart space, from her what I feel, the despair, she reached out and she asked people for help. And that will and she found the support in that. She really found the support in that. And now she can move on back to the light. She also has a feeling that she is being heard. She's been heard by the divine masculine when she told her story. She is heard by friends. She is supported. And there is so much gratitude in her heart for this support, that even if it's hard for her to handle the lower frequencies, she knows that something will come out of it. How does she see the divine masculine? That he also needs to heal and release himself from the change of the past, and that his healing is also in the light, because this chain it's also of the divine feminine. Here it's the ego. The chain is the ego of the past, the chain and the ego of the fear. And if she is healing and going through the light, so the divine masculine is healing and going through the light. If he starts to meditate, if he starts, you know, to heal himself, and they're on the same level, it's you know, reaching out to each other, and instead of, you know, putting each other more down in this negative and heavy lower energies, they both carry each other out, you know. They pull each other out. The divine feminine and masculine are so strong together, and they heal each other on a different level. You know, he's healing her and she's healing him. And that will bring a lot of old stuff to the surface that needs to heal. The divine masculine needs to know that he has to look within and take responsibility for his own actions, and not just blaming or putting it's to the divine feminine or to it, the other outer world, it's all within ourselves. Everything is within ourselves. So divine feminine knows this and cracks it open. And it doesn't matter which situation you're in. You know, if you get triggered, you know, you get triggered in your emotion that addresses that there is pain from the childhood that needs to be resolved, and you can't blame it on someone else. We all have to take responsibility for our own feelings, and if we take responsibility for our own feelings, then we start to heal, then we start to grow. For instance, you know, we get many triggers from the outside, from other people. It's never, the disturbance is never from the inside. It always is outer influence that triggers us. And we have to go within, and we have to stand still and go within and search for where it's coming from. You know, we can go hide and seek and you know, get in our ego and flee for it, and flee somewhere outside yourself to another relationship, or to another friendship, or getting it out there, and then blaming someone else that it doesn't work out, or you know, that they get shown their responsibility by someone else, and that it's their own creation, that it isn't the creation of someone else, it's their own creation. They create the disbalance in the relationship. They create the hurt in the relationship. And you know, it's and it's not about blaming each other, it's about seeing the hurt from each other and supporting each other in it. So the divine feminine sees the hurt from the divine masculine and supporting him in his hurt, and the divine and masculine supporting the divine feminine in her hurt. So they both, you know, carry each other. And if you carry each other, you know, out of love, then you will come back and create this bond together. You create a new balance together. And sometimes sometimes the divine masculine don't see his own their own blocks. The divine feminine don't seize their own blocks. So if you communicate with each other and receive it as, okay, how do you see it? How do you view me? How do you, you know, and then both can work with that and heal each other with it. Because the divine masculine don't almost see their own blocks. The divine feminine don't always see their own blocks. And when you go together and you talk about it and you go deep within, then you heal each other. Because then there is the aha moment. And you both, you know, both create. And it can be emotional. And that's all fine. But you both can turn it around for the better. And that's what is going on between the dynamic of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And sometimes, you know, yeah, Yeah, well, that will come later. It's all about trust, rebuilding trust. Um, did the why, was there no trust? Why was there? Is there a reason why you don't trust your divine feminine or your divine masculine? Is there a reason not to trust? Is it by their actions, or is it from something that happened in your life as a child, that you know that you stopped trusting in your life? And what was the trigger? And if you cut to the chase now, and you cut it off, and you go within, and you can re, re, rewind it, or return it, and heal it, then your heart can be open again. So what will support the divine masculine? Feeling helpless and feeling hopeless. That is supporting him, because he knows this is the light where he has to go, but he has to feel this energy of feeling helpless and hopeless to break through, because he isn't helpless and he isn't hopeless. He only needs to ask for support, and then he can see the light. He's seeing the light, and they know there is something bigger coming up, in the future. But he is frozen. He is so stuck that he can't move. He can't go to the right, and he can't go to the left. So that means that he needs to do something within himself to move forward. And this frozen state of not moving, of not, the only thing he does is, standing on his spot and doing this. And that's what I feel. He is going like this, and I'm not moving because I need to stand my ground, and I need to be in that spot, and just looking outside instead of making the move towards the light. It's just the energy that really needs to go within. That light needs to come in and grounding into the earth. Well, when there is light, the energy of the light will remove the density in your body, so it can move, so you can move forward. It's like creating a vortex in your body. Comes in and move through when the energy comes in and moves through your body, the density and the heaviness will move out. So it's very important that we get the sunlight in. And maybe you need more sunlight. Take your vitamins D, go to the sun, take take a solar bath, or go on vacation and let the sun shine in, because that's needed. You need sunshine in your life. And the hopelessness and the helplessness that you feel when your divine feminine is in distress, because I have a feeling it's about this, when you're about moving on and moving towards the heart, that he is not able to move, then he has to address his childhood. And what I feel is a deep, deep mother wound. And I feel abandonment from the mother. And when the mother comes back, I feel the anger, when the mother shows love, first there is this, oh, this is a heavy one, I feel. First there is rejection, and then the mother comes in with love. And that makes the child very angry and walk away from the mother because he is hurt by her rejection. So he moves away and sitting quiet, don't do anything, keep himself low key, and then feeling helpless and hopeless because he is yearning for that love. And when his divine feminine comes in with love, then this energy comes up again. And he is pushing the divine feminine away because of it triggers the old wound of the mother that is first rejecting him and then come forward with love. And he is craving for that love, but he gets so angry that she rejects him in the first place, that is almost repelling, And when the divine feminine is in her masculine energy and she stays in the mind space, then he can handle her. But when she comes in with love, he gets furious, he gets triggered. And this anger and this frustration needs to be resolved within him. He needs healing on that part. And he needs healing, a lot of healing on that part. Because his divine feminine is not his mother. She wants to do good from her heart space. And because his anger towards her and pushing her away, gives her the feeling of rejection. So he is doing the same as he did to his mother. So if you can understand this is a distorted energy from the divine masculine, and it's I think it's the negative attachment from the mother wound. And that's why they push that love away and, searching from the outside to get something else in. They craving it from the divine feminine, but they don't know that this wound is there, and they also need to know that they do it themselves, because when they're looking outside from something else, they're pushing their divine feminine away and they hurting themselves in the process. So that's why they feel hopeless and they feel helpless, and they get angry on the person, they really that really supports them in their life. Okay, that's a really huge download. How does the divine masculine sees the relationship with his divine feminine? He sees it blossoming. He sees there is more light coming in and receiving more energy in his system. He needs that light. That's what I told you here, to heal. But he's also giving this light to his divine feminine. When she is in a dark space, he is helping her. And when he is in a dark space, she is helping her with his light. So he sees that she needs this light, to blossom. And he already saw what she created from the universe. He knows how far she came. He sees that it's, you know, that they're coming closer, and you know how she grows, and he really wants to help her with that. Wow, I see a snake in here. Out of the snake, she starts to grow. Out of the snake tail, I don't know if you see it, out of the snake tail here, she grows. She grows the leaves. She is connected with, because of this energy, the dragon. I hear it's the dragon energy. The fire dragon, you know, takes care of the earth. Her fire energy and her sun energy starts everything to blossom. And he wants her to blossom. He wants her to see that in that energy. I hear, I'm so proud of you that you, every time when you went into the darkness, you're coming out more in fire, more in light, more in energy than you ever become before. So I will support you in everything you do. I want you to grow. I want you to be joyful. I want you to have this energy so I can see you shine. And I know everything you do is coming from your heart space. Everything you do is coming from your heart space. And I see that. But I need to heal. Sometimes your light is so bright and I am just in your shadow. And I don't want to be in your shadow. I want to grow also, and I want to grow and stand next to you. And now it's still out of balance. I need to heal myself. I need to do more things for myself to start moving towards your love and towards your light, so I can handle your light and I can handle your love. And you feel me so well that I see that you taking distance for me to grow. You take your distance, and when I feel when you're with me, you take your distance because your energy is so is so great, is so heavy for me to cope with, because in every time I see you, you are shining. And I don't see myself shining yet. And if I'm shining, I know this will bring us back together. But I need to grow and get the same light as you. And it takes time to heal for myself. So that's how he sees the divine feminine in the relationship. She is growing so fast. He can't keep up. And that's also why he feels helpless and hopeless, because he wants to grow in the same speed. What's supporting the divine feminine? She needs to seek within. She needs to take rest. She needs to meditate. She needs to go in nature. And she has to release all the old ego stuff, all the anxiety that's coming from the ego, because the ego is sabotaging her. And she needs to go into nature, and she has to listen to nature. She has to listen to the birds. She has to listen to the energies, to their spirits. So it could be that there wasn't enough time, or that she was too much in the third dimension and doing too much things, and you know, and she needs to take time for herself to meditate. You know, 2 weeks ago were such a lot of downloads, because in the meditation, and that when there is light, you know, the dark stuff will come up to be seen and to release. So that's what's happening, you know. If you get a really big download and there's a lot of energy moving through your body, first there needs to create chaos before things are getting better. And that's also what will happen in 2020, you know. First, now at the end of 19, there's a lot of chaos going on, and that needs to be released and removed before we can enter 2020. We need to be resolved, that piece of the karma, so there can be stability next year, because next year time is speeding up and speeding up and speeding up. So we need to be in a secure place within ourselves and feel the safety within ourselves to sit here with open arms and can handle everything. So it also needs that we need to sleep well, eat well, and it's also possible that now in this time of all the things that is happening, that you are not hungry, that you're almost living on the energy of light, because things need to be shifted in your body. It could be that your body was too dense, that you had too heavy food, and that needs to get out of your system. You know, if you, for instance, if you ate meat, you know, that is it's getting you grounded, but also there are all antibiotics in the animals that is going through your body, that creates anxiety, that creates heaviness, that creates disorder within your body. And now you start to purge and purge and purge. So everything that comes up and all yeah, I call it poison, what they poison in the air. Everything creates a frequency within your body, and we need to purge that. We really need to purge that. And so it's probably your body has enough, you know, of all the density of all the food from Christmas, and maybe tomorrow with all the new. So your body is really purging all this energy, purging all this food, and come to a higher frequency of I for instance feel that I only need soup. You know, I every day I eat broccoli soup and a kale soup, really vegetable soups. That's all what my body needs at the moment, because it was too heavy and too dense. So we are purging all this energy that needs to get out. And also you feel in your body, if there is anxiety, know that it's coming from all the different foods and the different frequency that comes in, and that it also affects on your past. You know, it's not only the food, it's everything together. It's everything together that goes in each other, and that explodes, and it needs to purge so there new energies can come in and push you forward to a new growth. How does the divine feminine sees the divine masculine? That he is growing. That is really beautiful. He doesn't see it himself, But divine feminine sees growth within the divine masculine, and that he is successful in his growth. But there's still things to heal, and he is working hard for his own healing, and to get more out of his head and more into nature. And there is, if you look at it, this leaf is a heart, that he has a heart in his head that wants to grow. He wants to grow the love with his divine feminine. And because he knows they growing together on different levels. And if the right time is there, and there is no time, because the divine masculine has to do so many things already, to getting over his own fears, the own fears of abandonment, the own fears of doing things by himself and doing things alone, because he's still depending on people in his surroundings. It could be that he is reaching out for his children, that he's reaching out for family, that he's reaching out and holding on to that, because that's the only thing that gives him meaning of life. Whoa, that was a release. So Spirit says, yes, you're totally right. Okay, what blocks the divine masculine? The old shadow sides. He's breaking open. He needs to break open from the darkness. He needs to break open from old behaviors. He needs to go to the light and to his heart space, and not getting everything from the outer world, and really going within towards the light. Yes, it hurts. Yes, you have to do the work. Without hurt, there is no growth. And if you want to do it all but in your head, your head is always sabotaging yourself. And you can go outwards and seek for a new gratification, but you need to do it within. You need to go within before enter a relationship. If you don't do the work within yourself, and you just think in your head, yeah, I have it all under control, and you're stepping into a new relationship, you get the same old again. And I know this is going on in so many people's life. Just give each other time and say, I'm going for my own healing journey, and I see you in 8 months. And let's see where we are in May in this, or in April. Set a date for yourself, that you say, okay, within this time frame, I try to heal all the old stuff that is in between us. I will work on myself in this time space. Because, the love is binding us, and this is what I want in my life. I want this love back in my life. And if you want this love back in your life, in your heart space, then you need to do the work. You need to release yourself. Release yourself from your shadows. Wow. And what will he do about it? He will get rewarded. He will be on the top of the mountain, or top of the building in this case. Top of the stone people. And standing here, and can be proud of yourself, of what you reached out for, then it's, you know, not being stuck here again, but standing tall and say, and you overcome so much that you can say, yes, I did it. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of where I came from down there up here. And that's what he's going to do about it. He wants his divine feminine to be proud of him. And he doesn't know that she's already proud of him, of where he's coming from. She sees his growth, and she sees that he is supporting her, and she is supporting him. And he has to let go of the ego and go to his heart space, open his space, and really speak his truth, you know. If he loves her, you know, he has to tell her he loves her. And if he doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter to the divine feminine, because she knows in her heart space that he loves her. But he probably needs to speak it from himself, because it's his ego and his pride that is holding him back. It's his ego and pride holding him back. But he will get a well-reserved reward from the universe. Not from his divine feminine. Because divine feminine already knows. What is blocking the divine feminine? Death and rebirth. The divine feminine went through a death, and she needs to fly out and free herself from the burdens that she carried. You know, the burdens of death, the fear of death, the fear of losing, the fear of flying out and being reborn. The death is knocking on her door. Like I told you in the beginning, my story, you know, it was the loss of my handbag stood for me for my life. You know, my whole life was in there, in that handbag. And that took me back, for instance, to the almost death experience. So I can relate to this card. And maybe there are more people out there that can relate to this card, that you need a death, you know, to be free again, to start all over again and fly out and be pure again. Leave the cold and the end behind you and move forward. Move forward. And it's an inner death. You know, it isn't a death of a relationship. It isn't a death it's your inner death. You need to go, you have to die before you can fly again. You have to spread your wings. And even when there is fear, you have to let the fear die to move forward. So every death has a new beginning. And the new beginning is in your own hands. In nobody else's hands. It's your own hands. If you have a near-death experience, you know that you're connected with spirit always because of that experience. And when you connected with spirit in that near-death experience, you know that you have to go through all your fears, go through all the anxieties, go through all tension to create a new life and take your life in your own hands and take back your power to start living again. Because you can't live if you're still walking in this death, in this cold, in this past life, you know, that holds you back with hooks in your system that, you know, pulls you back all the time. So it's really time to go within and search what is that death for you. What means that death to you? Is it connected with someone? Is it connected to a situation? Is it connected with old fear? Is it connected with childhood? You know, and there are many triggers in that. So the death is blocking the divine feminine of moving forward. So the death is also a new beginning. So you have to go within. You can't search it from the outside. You can't move to spirit, you know. But you have to go within and get the insights where it's coming from. And when you feel where it's coming from, you can heal it. As if you are aware of it, you can accept it and let it go. So what is she going to do about it? She's going to her crown chakra. She is listening to all the downloads, and she's listening to all the things that comes through by spirit. And a new violet flame energy is coming in to transform all the density and all the heaviness in her system. It's like a release. There is a new catalyzing energy coming out of this death that push you forward. So what is combining them? Trust. They both need to trust. Trust that they can go forward. That they need to open their heart and they need to fly. And trust that there is always support. Trust that new things will come to them. That they, I feel, open their hearts. The divine masculine needs to trust the divine feminine. The divine feminine needs to trust the divine masculine. If, you know, from the heart space, from this card, from the heart, that they move towards love in their heart space. And they need to trust. If they don't build up the trust within themselves and build up the trust towards each other, they will never reach each other. And the trust comes from within. The trust comes from within. How does the divine feminine starts to trust the divine masculine after the betrayal, after the lies, after everything what happened? How does the divine masculine comes over the rejection of the divine feminine, of the pushing away from the divine feminine? Because he, you know, it's vice versa, and they both have to go within to their inner child wounds and to start trusting again, trust themselves again. And what will bring them together? Challenging times. If they can be there for each other in challenging times, and protecting each other, you know, the divine masculine holding his shield in front of him, but also using his shield you know, to protect the divine feminine behind him, you know, and standing in front of her and saying, you know, doesn't matter what happens, I'm here for you and I will protect you. I will be here to protect you and to hold you and to guard you, whatever happens in your life. And the divine feminine will do the same for him. And she will do it with energy. She will do it with, if he is under attack of lower frequency energies and she's holding back those energies, know that those energies will attack her of protecting her divine masculine. And they all will go towards her because she's sending so much light energetically to the divine masculine. And it's weird, but those energies are sent. And I know a lot of people don't believe in people that sending bad energy towards other people, but it is. And I see it in the realm. I see it through the energies. And the only thing what the divine feminine does is supporting him so he can move forward. Also knows that those energies will withhold him to move forward, you know, because then he gets stuck. But as the divine feminine removes those energies from the divine masculine, it could hit their those energies, those heavy energies that are being sent will hit their children, will hit their family, will hit the divine feminine. And if she puts in her power to stop this, and she has the help from the whole divine universe behind her, you know, these energy will attack her first place. But if the divine masculine is strong enough in that situation to protect her, and he will become aware that those things are happening, and that he gets stuck by these energies and feeling hopeless and restless, and he is aware of this, they both can help each other to be free of it by being aware that he can also send these energies back, you know, and protect his divine feminine when she gets under attack of the energies that she is removing from him to protect her family. So I see a lot of things happening in these dark times because there is a lot of resentment from the karmic partners towards the feminine. And I know that a lot of you don't believe in this, but you know, those energies are be sent because there is so much resentment and so much anger towards the divine masculine that he is still connecting with his divine feminine to make a balance for his family. Divine masculine don't want arguments with his divine feminine. He wants the union or the relationship flourishing for their family. And that is something that, you know, if you have to deal with a karmic partner, you know, probably the karmic partner can't even do it herself. She will let it do by someone else. And know that you need to protect yourself. Both need to protect themselves. They need to have this protection. And it's not the protection from the outer world. It's the protection from lower frequency energies that are be sent. And I told you about this in the last reading, I think, when I talked about vampires, vampire energies, parasite energies, reptilian energies. We need to be protected in this time, because with Christmas time we had a new moon on the verge of dark moon energies and the solar eclipse. That's double shadow, and we felt this in these after few days. We felt this huge shift of energy. When we went through and we resolved it, we can push forward, and that's what's going to happen. Let's get a card of light in here. And in the new year, we're going to the light. Wow. Mother Mary. In the new year, we go into the light and we get help from Mother Mary and Lady Portia. For the Divine Masculine, let me check what's, get my glasses on. Let go of the need to be right and choose peace. Mother healing is possible in this time. Wow. He needs the healing of Mary, Mother Mary, to heal the wounds of the mother issues. What I told you about, the distorted energy of rejection, anger, pulling back and pushing it on to the Divine Feminine when she shows love. That's why the Divine Feminine doesn't show love, because she knows that she would get pushed away. So she is holding a container for herself, so she won't be rejected, because there are no questions asked, how she feels about things. Because the Divine Masculine doesn't feel good enough, that he needs to work that out. For the Divine Feminine, it's Lady Portia, Divine Order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. And yes, this is a really this is a really interesting lesson that needs to be learned. That is this lesson. It's the lesson of taking back your life, taking back your power, letting go of the inner child wounds and moving towards the light. When you recognize it, accept it, that it is what it is, and move on. And of course, there could be some triggers within that needs to be healed. But most of all, we're going into the new year with a lot of light, with a lot of new energies. People are collectively called to release the old stuff, release the old paradigm, and have faith in the light, faith in yourself, faith in the universe, that things will come to an end and will come, and better energies and better situation will help you in love. Love again. Go to the heart space, support each other. This is eternal love. For me, the swans is Bridget. For me, the swans is Imbolc. A new time, a new beginning. And in this energy, from new beginnings starts the love within, the love for each other. New love coming in the next year. And it's huge. It's huge. For a lot of people, new love will come in. One card, please. 2 cards, 3 cards. Oh, it's a whole message. It's a whole message. Let's see what the message is. Choose to go through the door. It's almost the same as this card. You know? Don't get stuck. Get out of your helplessness. Walk on the stairs and go through the gates. And go through the gates towards the light. And choose your path. Have faith in it. Trust and anchor. Have faith. Anchor is hope. And sometimes you get stuck when it's, you know, on the bottom of the sea and you don't see things clearly anymore because you get stuck. You know, hope and faith is the only thing that will get you out of there and doing the inner work. So that's beautiful. Death again. Because if you get stuck and you're not moving and you don't have faith, then you have a death. Then you have an inner death again. Then you're dying. When there is no hope, you're dying. And hope is life. Hope is life force. So when you're stuck and your faith is not there, you're dying. So it can also mean that the death will give you faith. The death of a situation will give you faith to get out of that situation and to move forward. Nest. And then you can build again. Then you can build a house. Then you can come home. Then you can come home within yourself. Then you can come home with your family. Then you can come home as building a new home within yourself. And the engagement ring. Sorry, guys. There is a promise in love. If you have faith, if you're stuck in love at the moment, you know, have faith, because this energy, this promise, this ring will come. But we also need to die before something old needs to die, before something new can be happening. And you have to make that choice. You have to make the choice. Which way do you want to go? Do you want to stay stuck or do you want to move? Will you create a new home for yourself and your partner? You know? And if you do it in love, because those two will come together. Because the swans also stands for monogamy, for loyalty, for support, for being together, being loving to each other. And the only thing we need is love and kindness. And I think I will keep it to this. I will get one more card for the Divine Feminine, because this was just a message that came through. For the Divine Feminine, go with the flow. Go downstream. Don't swim upstream. And, you know, when you go into deeper waters, you know, sometimes we go in and dive deep. That's perfectly fine. Because when we are deep in the waters, we feel the most. So this is for the Divine Feminine. And I will keep it with this week. I have an announcement to make for Awaken Now. That's my subscriber that watch every week, and she won the free reading. So if you are watching me, if you're watching this reading, Awaken Now, please contact me because you won a free reading, and I can do the free reading in the new year for you. So if you're watching, um, you know, once in a while I will give a free reading. So if you subscribe, you can win this free reading. So for now, it's Awaken Now that won the free reading. And I hope and see you all in the new year. I bless you all. I hope you all will go well in this new year. Celebrate, release, and start all over again. So you will feel new power, new energy in your system. Ask for support of your guides. And this was a very long reading. Next week, the reading will come from the Netherlands. And I hope you all will doing fine. I wish you all the best, and I'm so grateful that I'm guided, that I can give all my lessons and my channelings to you. And when it resonates, please leave your comments below this video. Subscribe if you want to in the future new free readings. So I decided to choose every 2 months to give a free reading. So if you subscribe, you're one of the people who makes a chance to win the reading. Oh my goodness. So I say all my love, all my gratitude, and I love you all, and see you later. Bye bye.